When threatened by powerful political interests, we stood our ground, fought hard, kept our promise and delivered against all odds. I wanted to resign at that point and wanted to go and start a company. So Imamsi and Lal spoke to me. They asked me to give a 2-year notice. He said that we don't care. You give a notice period, you finish this task and go. I stayed back 2 more years before I went to start.
That was in 90.
Immediately after the aftermath.
Al-Sur was cut over in 90. Indranagar went beyond you, but Al-Sur was cut over.
Right, that was critical.
Very critical. Yes. And post cut over, you know what?
I know. In hindsight, there was the right thing to do.
I think a couple of points that you have missed out there, Modi, is that the main story here, storyline was also that the cost of the product was so competitive that others couldn't compete.
That's what we said there. We talked about the emerging market. In the emerging market, we said the low price point solution for the emerging market built in the emerging market. That's the key.
And the Indian expat thing, I think a lot of companies have tried to do that since. This probably one of the first experiments of trying to bring back the NRI knowledge into India and all the expats coming and seeding youth structure.
Correct.
So having startups this is probably a startup in a way.
Yes.
Right? The public funded startup.
Even today I can tell you, I told you, I took him to a place where I used to work, and in 2002 they did not know some fundamentals. What we knew in 80. That's because those guys came and said that this is how you need to do it. No idea.
On just one point, one big innovation which of that time which was done by Sam was revenue sharing in duty, which never happened.
And this has happened much later. It happened.
But
that's part of the story.
Part of the story.
No.
When
We
you
are
talk
talking a
about
little bit
access,
about SIDA. The whole story, that is true. Privatization, entrepreneurs coming, taking over, eventually revenue sharing. If you see,
revenue sharing with duty.
Listen, the problem is we don't want to take credit for the entire thing happened in telecom.
In fact, some of the things I don't agree with, but we'll come to that later. We did something flew out of that. But there are certain other things which are also happening.
Yes.
So for everything we can't take.
We cannot take it. So continuing with that, the founding. Did I miss this?
No, it's okay.
Yeah, the work culture.
No, we covered this.
Okay, the founding leaders. This is something special, fabulous. A strong, highly motivated leadership. You have to work under these guys to know what it really means. Sam Pitroda is charismatic and daring visionary.
One of the most important things that you have to add here is they were not in it.
Someone keep note of these.
This I will give you 2 examples.
Right.
This leadership was not in it for themselves.
Right, exactly.
They were not looking, barring one gentleman I will not name, they were not looking for foreign trips. They were not looking to make any money.
Right.
They were not out to grab anything.
Right.
So like Pitroda said, if a dog barks, you throw a bone. But what do you do to the dog who doesn't take a bone? On barking. So these were those kinds of dogs who just kept on barking, and you would just satisfy them with anything. So their selflessness or their lack of personal aggrandizement or agenda. So that was, to me, Mr. M.G.K. Menon's secretary. He wanted his son to be recruited in SIDA. 6 बार मैंने साहब का फोन आया. एक कंसल थे DDG ड्यूटी में, उनकी लड़की को हम लोगों ने 4 बार इंटरव्यू. उसके बाद क्या हुआ, I don't want to say.
So starting with Sam Pitroda, the charismatic and daring visionary, motivator extraordinaire, the ultimate entrepreneur. GM Imamsi, Imamsi, the humble, idealistic, people-oriented, gutsy technocrat from the government. Dr. Pitke, the professorial scientist engineer with a deep understanding of R&D and people from the academic research. Supported by an excellent second line and third line leadership and a great bunch of fresh engineers straight out of college. The drive to deliver was there with a team like this. There was external politics and internal divisions, but there was a very, very strong drive to deliver, and deliver we did. There was no petty regional, caste, religious, linguistic politics within. Any organization has plenty of this, never was there. Except there is a subtle hardware, software. Read Bangalore, Delhi, mini tug of war, which however never went out of control. It was good, healthy competition. So why must we remember and celebrate today? Obviously to feel good about our achievements. thank the visionaries who founded, the leaders who led us, the colleagues we were fortunate to work with, the many others who helped and supported us from all over the country and the world to reconnect and feel honored by the mutual association. To celebrate and rededicate ourselves to help continue to build this nation in its renaissance. To let everyone know, here was a team which made the impossible possible and proved India can do it at an age and time when the common refrain was India can't do it. The nation could learn from this experiment and achieve much more. Raise the big question. If this country can fix telecom in 15 years from where it existed, can't we fix our roads, transportation, energy, water, education, health, poverty, the nation? Why are we continuing to be a poor nation? I do business very often with China. I'm looking at that. It's amazing what these guys have done in 20 years. They were behind us, they have moved far ahead of us. What is holding us back? If you look at what we did in telecom, nothing should hold us. We have everything to make this transformation. That is the last point, which is the most important field. I think that is one of the reasons we should celebrate. We have to keep that in. These slides are made in a way to be distributed all over the world. We are going to go and not go. So to some degree they are self-contained, more bullets are there, because people can read and understand what it is. So bear with me. So some of them I read out, that's how it looks like. So the first mail I sent to Sam and he quickly responded. Friends, I am now too old. Many of you would have seen that, but still let's read that through. I am now too old to keep up with you all. However, I sense here the energy, enthusiasm, commitment, concern, care, confidence, cooperation, and a lot more. First, I want to thank and compliment every one of you for your unconditional support, help, love, and affection for CDAW. Second, I want to emphasize that this is a unique time in the history of the world and India to create a movement for the Indian Renaissance. You all can initiate this with the track record you have for the last 25 years. It's good to think big and think wide. Third, let us not miss this great opportunity to help move India forward with focus not just on technology and telecom, but also on improving the quality of life for the millions at the bottom of the pyramid through applications related to education, health, agriculture, services, etc. I feel it's time to do a white paper to consolidate all the good ideas and outline a program with appropriate organization to implement. This document is a response to the last line. This is the document which is the starting point of what we are going to do.
Venkat, you guys all taught us to be results oriented.
Yeah.
Is operationally, so is this prioritized?
Which one?
Education, health, agriculture, services?
Yeah, we are going to discuss all that.
Okay.
Now, this is what his vision. Now, I think we are going to give the whole story, what we are going to do, what are the specifics we are going to do. We will be talking about that a little later. How should we structure it?